I actually wanted to ask you about what it's like to go to the conservatories in town where you're looking for young talent.
We're really lucky because we have Carnegie Mellon University and we have Point Park University, and it's two schools that have programs that are really desired by young actors. So I've been lucky, having cast with the Pittsburgh Public and worked with Ted Pappas, that I've gotten to go to a lot of the showcases around town, both at Point Park and at Carnegie Mellon. And those are the cream of the crop of the young actors in the country. So we had a pretty sweet pool to pull from.
Our two young leads in the film, one is a recent graduate of the Carnegie Mellon program who we saw do plays there and sort of had our eye on him. And then he had moved up to New York by the time it was time for us to shoot, and we tracked him down. We went up to Brooklyn and found him in a diner and convinced him that he should come back to Pittsburgh for the summer and work on it.
And actually, since he's shot Progression, he's part of a theater company called Pigpen Theater, and they've had an off-Broadway show. Their album, their musicians and their album has been ranked number 10 on the Billboard list.
Alex Valberg is just a great guy.
He's just a muffin. He really is. He really is.
And then his opposite number, his co-star in the film, is a young actress named Haley Nielsen, who just graduated from Point Park from their conservatory. One of the things that was great was being able to take one from Carnegie Mellon and one from Point Park. And Haley's a beautiful actress and really gifted. One of the things that we got with Haley that we were really lucky to get, and this is something that I think people are going to be figuring out in Pittsburgh, is that they have a cinema department at Point Park. And I've been teaching there for the past year. And so these kids, just to give you an idea, I taught 4 classes in the spring, and I had to grade 123 student films in 4 months. So they're making a lot of films over there. They're student films, but it gives these young actors who are in the Conservatory for Actors a chance to work on camera, which is, again, it's an important skill. It's a very marketable skill. It's a skill that not everybody gets when they go to drama school.
And it's a skill that not everybody can do, even if they've gone to school for theater.
Yeah, very true. So Haley was an absolute pro. It was her first feature film, and certainly, I know she was a starring role in her very first feature that she got to make.
Warm, natural, completely natural. And
a total pro, understood what a day on the set was all about. Yeah, an experienced hand already at 22, I guess, when she came to our set, which we were very, very lucky.
Just had a great attitude, which is huge when you're starting shooting at 4 a.m.
James Fitzgerald and Jason McCune were both actors who had more sort of journeyman actors who had careers all over the country. Both of them spent time in New York. I believe Jason did.
Yep.
Spent time working as actors in New York and LA. James spent a long time in Chicago working as an actor there, and they came here to attend Point Park's Masters of Fine Arts program, which Lisa Ann.
Yeah, in fact, Jason McCune and I were students together, and then James was in the class that was after us.
As was Gab Cody, who the co-writer, producer, director,
was in James's
and
class.
star was in James's class at the Point Park Masters program. So. Again, a lot of those local university connections in the casting of the play. I
have to say that Jake's agent was really difficult to deal with.
Yeah, he's a diva.
But he's so beautiful.
He is a lovely cat. And let's see, there was one other thing I wanted. So there are also a few actors in town who have achieved some sort of, I would say, cult celebrity status, who we asked to come and join us on the set. Now Mary Rawson, who we mentioned before, was a regular on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Cousin Mary, I believe.
She was Cousin Mary.
Cousin Mary on Mr. Rogers. the wonderful actor that we have playing the master of ceremonies at the very beginning of the film is a man named John Amplis, who starred in some of George Romero's very early films. He played the title role in Martin, which is one of George's very first features that he made.
A huge cult hero.
Yes, and someone who I've had the great good fortune to work with. He's directed me in.
He's directed me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That connection to the history of feature filmmaking in Western Pennsylvania in our film. I'm trying to think if there was one other person I wanted to talk about.
Well, you know, I mean, something I want to say is that there were some actors in our film that are not experienced actors at all, who have not done a lot of theater or a lot of film, but they were so temperamentally right for the roles that we put them in that we felt certain that they could pull it off, and they did.
There's a wonderful community of African American theater artists here in town, and we managed to find room in their schedules where they could come and work on our film. Wally Jamal is somebody who's very busy and working on a million things all the time, but he was nice enough to come down and spend, I think, 5 days.
Yeah, Jenna Stiles.
Jenna Stiles is a terrific actor. And also really, really funny. In conclusion, there's an incredible depth of talent here. Gab and I recognized it after we'd been in Pittsburgh for just about 6 months after we moved here from New York. It's a very deep pool of talent, and when we first started thinking about doing this movie, one of the reasons we knew we'd be able to make it happen was because we knew that we could cast it all right here. And
I totally agree with you. I'm from New York. I'm a New York native, and I came here to go to grad school, and I was really blown away at the artists that were in Pittsburgh, not just actors, but directors and filmmakers and artisans. It was kind of amazing. It completely took me by surprise. I had no idea that Pittsburgh was going to be that rich in culture.
If I had a dream about what could happen for the community here, it would be that if people see progression, they'll come to understand that they can cast bigger roles locally. They can use these local actors and be really confident about the performances that they'll get from that.